So, at this point in time, you may be wondering what aerospace engineering is. Well, I'm here to tell you. Aerospace engineering is the design and building of spacecraft and aircraft. This is under the branch of mechanical, electrical, and civil engineering. In aerospace engineering, there are two sub branches to aerospace engineering, which is aeronautical and astronautical engineering. Aeronautical engineering is the design and construction of aircraft such as gliders, airplanes, and helicopters, among other aircraft. Astronautical engineering deals with the design and making of spacecraft such as rovers and the space shuttle. But if you want to enjoy building both space and aircraft, you would go with aerospace engineering. Aerospace engineering, while it is about putting things into the air, it can also be about making missiles, defensive aircraft, and communications equipment mounted on top of spacecraft or aircraft. Next, we'll go into the required training and certifications. In order to become an aerospace engineer, you'd have to have at least a bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering, as well as needing A level in maths, physics, and chemistry. While that actually kind of doesn't sound that difficult, to be honest with you. You would also need a professional engineer license for more advanced aerospace engineer programs. You would also need to pass two tests, the Fundamentals of Engineering exam and the Professional Engineering exam. On top of this, once you do get out of school with your degree, most people want engineers with experience, which is why you would have to shadow a senior aerospace engineer for a bit of your career.
So, there are some skills and characteristics that you need if you want to be successful in the career that is aerospace engineering. One of these characteristics is that you need to be able to provide very technical expertise and guidance to people who don't work in the engineering department in order to solve complex problems. So, if you're trying to work with, let's say, a coder, you have to be able, in simplistic terms, explain what your machine does, what you want it to do, and what you want him to do. Another thing is that you have to be able to have a holistic mindset to develop and troubleshoot all parts and phases of hardware development, integration, and implementation. So, if, for example, you're building a machine and a part of it goes wrong somewhere, you have to be able to know where it went wrong. You also have to be able to plan, coordinate, and evaluate testing in aerospace systems. You also have to research, design, develop, and test structures, propulsion units, and guidance and controls subsystems for aircraft, missiles, and spacecraft. And lastly, you also have to be able to analyze aerospace products or equipment specifications and performance requirements to determine designs which can be produced by existing manufacturing or processing facilities and methods. So, if you're trying to build something that isn't very easily made by machinery, you're probably going to have a hard time making it. The job outlook for the next 5 to 10 years for aerospace engineering is a 2% increase in the need for aerospace engineers, but a 5% decrease in the need for aerospace engineers who work in the manufacturing industry. And finally, some of the professional associations that you could work with are Aerospace Industries Association, the AHS International, the Vertical Flight Society, American Astronautical Society, American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, which is the AIAA, the Association of Unmanned Vehicle Systems International, Experimental Aircraft Association, and Society of Flight Test Engineers.
Then there's the typical wages, and for like the amount of school that you need for an aerospace engineer, these guys can earn quite a bit. So, for entry level engineers, you would earn $85,000 a year, which to me doesn't sound that bad of a deal. The wages for mid level aerospace engineers, people who got like 10-ish years in this career, they earn like $109,610, which is quite good. And the wages for the people who have been working here for like 20, 30 years, those are pretty high. It's $139,090, which I'd say is pretty good. Then there's the two job listings, two places where I would personally want to work once I get out of college. The first place is JPL, otherwise known as Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and it's located at 4800 Oak Grove Drive, Pasadena, California, zip code 91109. So they work with NASA, they're part of a NASA, thing. And as well as that, they also mostly deal with the design and construction of rovers. The second place I would like to at is NASA, again, but this time at the Johnson Space Center, which is located at 2101 East NASA Parkway, Houston, Texas at 77058. Now, I would like to go there because first off, I think it's awesome. That's where all the Houston we have a problem stuff happens. And I think it's pretty cool, but also because, they work with the astronauts, they're the ones who are mostly designed with building like the main aircraft that goes into space, such as space shuttles. Hey, overall, I just think it'd be pretty cool. So all I'm trying to say is aerospace engineering is a very cool pathway, and as the famous person once said, I forgot his name, space is the last frontier, and you can do a lot of things as an aerospace engineer that would help us in the future. And while in your own lifetime, or my own lifetime, we may not be able to, travel at the speed of light or anything crazy like that. Who knows? Maybe in the future, something like that could happen. So, hope you consider aerospace engineering and hope you like listening to this.